If I asked you in which language was the first Bible in North America printed, you might guess Spanish, English, maybe French or Latin. But those would all be wrong. While Bibles in those languages did exist early on in the New World, they were imported here. No, the first American Bible was printed near Boston in the local Algonquin language. It is known as the Eliot Indian Bible. John Eliot was a Cambridge graduate with a gift for languages who came to the New World in 1631 to preach the gospel. Most bilingualists in 17th century New England were Indians. Native languages were thought by the Puritans to be too primitive to matter and difficult to learn in any event, so it's likely he was the only Englishman who bothered. With a lot of local help, he was soon competent enough to preach. But converting souls and having them sit through sermons was not enough. His brand of evangelism demanded interaction with the words of the gospel, which he decided he would bring to the people in their language. Well, mostly. You can see some words defy translation. Being the first person to write a theretofore unwritten language was, of course, an enormous undertaking. Not only did it take many years, but it also took the help of an extraordinary native translator named Job Nesseton. But, like all printing, the words were just the start. The assembly of the book required backers in England to send a new printing press, type, ink, paper, and a master printer. The work began finally in the fall of 1659, using both the new press and the one operated by Samuel Green, already in Massachusetts. Excluding almost every other printing job to come their way and aided by a native named James Printer, it still took about 3 years, consuming in that time some 300,000 sheets of paper, more than all English New World printing to that date. What they got was a purpose-built product sturdy enough to survive the environs, but entirely usable. These margins were meant to be written in, either in communion with the gospel or, as you can see on a later page, simply to practice writing at a time when little other paper was available. The thing that jumps out at you, of course, is this red rule. This was not part of the printing process. Added later by hand to every page of this book, it was the sort of thing people of the 16th and 17th centuries thought ornamented the plain text. It's here because this particular copy was bound for England, likely as a gift to the newly restored court of Charles II. Only later was it, somewhat maladroitly, gifted back to an Indian tribe in America that could not, in fact, read the language, surviving a second Atlantic crossing in the bargain. Passing through the hands of a dozen generations and not very much worse for the wear, it arrived here in the 1970s, where it will remain a testament surely to many things, not least a language now nearly dead that was, for a brief time, the center of American printing.